Okay, ma'am.
Okay, from the silk fiber is produced. So this is the life cycle. So after this, it becomes into adult again.
Ma'am, but we kill it in pupa stage only, no, ma'am.
No, we will remove. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So after complete development of silkworms, the cocoons are gathered, and these are sun dried, or else they are boiled, or else you can keep to the steam. So this boiling releases the silk fiber from this cocoon. So whatever the layer, hard layer is there, that hard layer is exposed to the sun, or else you can boil or you can steam it to remove the silk fiber. Okay. So the silk fibers from many cocoons are brought together and to form a single silken thread. What is this process called as students? It is called reeling of silk. You know how this silk? Yes, it is called reeling of silk.
Reeling is a process where they take out the fiber like silk.
Yes, they make into silken thread. So what is reeling? Yes.
Ma'am, for preparing 1 kg of silk, I think they kill approximately 1,000.
Yes, ma'am, it is very costly
yes,
also.
Yes. So silk fibers from cocoon are brought together to form.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, but why do they do this work, ma'am? Because of this, the silkworms can become extinct, and the future generations can't find the silkworms.
But they're rearing them, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So no issues with that. So they are taking care and they're rearing.
Yeah, ma'am.
So this reeling can also be done in special machines which unwind. You know the meaning of unwind, right? Which unwind the silk from the cocoon. So it can be done with the help of machines as well. Okay. Generally, three grades of silk is obtained from a cocoon. The unwound fibers form the finest quality silk called as real silk. So we will see the three kinds.
Ma'am, I think there are 4 kinds of silk, ma'am.
3 grades of silk.
Okay.
3 grades of silk obtained from cocoon. Okay. So the unwound fibers, whatever the unwound fibers are there, actually they form the finest silk and it is dazzling white in color. Okay.
Ma'am, I think that silk name is mulberry silk, ma'am.
Unwound fibers. Those are called as reeled silk.
Ma'am, I think it's
which is
very
dazzling white in color.
Ma'am, I think it's very costly, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I have one doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, nowadays they are using artificial silk, ma'am. Acrylic silk they are using, ma'am.
What they are using?
Ma'am, instead of silk they use
there are many,
some other.
Yeah, there are many synthetic fibers here.
Ma'am, but you told they are rearing and the population will be same only, ma'am. Then why do they use this silk, ma'am? Artificial silk.
It is very costly, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, but costly
there are many other alternative. Like it is, we can use any kind of silk. There are many options, so we can use, and the silk which you are rearing from the silkworms is costly actually.
Ma'am, but the silk, ma'am, but the costliest means it is not that much costly as a gold necklace, ma'am. Then why do we do that?
It's up to the wish of people.
Okay, ma'am. If people doesn't use.
It doesn't mean that the silk, that's what I'm explaining. There are different kinds of silk. So the silk may be of the high quality silk will be there, low quality silk will be there, that we are discussing now. Just I'm writing the silk, the unwoven fibers are the real silk, which is dazzling white in color.
Yeah.
Whereas that remains after reeling process is a damaged or waste cocoon. Okay, and it
Yeah,
is
ma'am.
of inferior quality silk, which is called as spun silk. So there are qualities in the silk. So the
Like
silk,
that silk thread would be waste, no, ma'am. That
yeah.
there,
So it depends on
will
the
be not
quality.
dazzling waste.
So after combing process, whatever the short fibers are left, which are even more inferior quality, like which are very worst quality, which is called as nail silk. It has generally rough texture.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, the adult moth after laying eggs, it dies, no, ma'am.
Yes.
Does it die or does it will reborn?
It will die, it seems.
Okay. No, ma'am, but why, ma'am, like this?
See, generally the particular animals will have life cycle of certain time. It will live in that
Yeah, ma'am.
time only.
I'm like same as butterfly, ma'am. It spends most of the time in its caterpillar stage only, ma'am. That's why it
Yeah.
dies faster.
The silk that remains after reeling process from the waste or damaged cocoon which is of inferior quality called spun silk. Okay, and the other kind, after carding and combing, whatever the short fibers are left, which are even inferior quality, which is called nail silk.
But most of us doesn't use like that silks, no, ma'am.
See, we don't know that how many kinds of silks are there. That like you'll mix few silks together, and there are many modifications.
Okay, ma'am.
So after carding or combing, the short fibers which left behind constitute even very inferior quality, that is called as nail silk. So what are the types we discussed here? 3 grades of silk. One is the unwoven fiber, which is called a real silk, which is dazzling white in color. Okay, so the next one is the spun silk. The unwound silk, which is of inferior quality, is called spun silk. And after carding and combing process, whatever the short fibers are left and which are even very inferior quality is called nail silk. Clear with 3 grades of silk?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so we will see again the summary of sericulture, what it is happening. First, what we do, students, in the rearing process, we will
Ma'am,
take the healthiest moths.
ma'am,
Hmm?
ma'am, I forgot the health hazards in sericulture and discovery of silk, ma'am.
What?
Ma'am, the health hazards in sericulture and discovery of silk.
Health hazards and discovery. Yeah, we will discuss. Okay, so let me give once again the summary. So healthiest moths are chosen for breeding and laying eggs. This is the first we will do in the rearing process in the sericulture. And second, what is the larva that comes out of the eggs are fed with mulberry leaves. So they continue till 6 weeks. Right? What happens the second? Larva that comes out of eggs hatch are fed with mulberry leaves which feed for about 6 weeks. Okay, so the next process is, so when the silkworm is about 35 days old, it starts spinning cocoon around itself. So generally this process takes around 7 days. For about 7
3 to
days,
7
it
days.
starts spinning cocoon on its body. So when the silkworm is about 35 days old, it starts spinning a cocoon around itself for about 3 to 7 days. Okay. Next, after this, it enters into pupa stage. So the pupa inside the cocoons are killed by putting cocoons in hot water, as we discussed, right? By heating or by giving to the steam or placing in sunlight. The cocoons are the pupa inside the cocoons are killed. So pupa inside cocoons are killed by putting the cocoons in hot water, which kills the worms. Okay, with hot water is fine. Next, what is the next step, students? Do you have idea about eyelet?
Mom?
Eyelet.
Yeah, Mama. Yeah, Mama, I have an idea.
So let me show you eyelet and
Mom, the thread is passed through it, Mom.
yes. Can you see here what is happening? So the cocoon, so one end of the thread is passed into eyelet and the thread is reeled on the wheel. Can you see the process here?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the fifth process we are doing? So we remove the cocoon from the insect and then that cocoon one end is passed through the eyelet. So one end of the silk thread is passed through an eyelet and After passing through eyelet, what is happening? Thread is reeled on a wheel. And thread reeled onto the wheel. Okay. Clear? Now, after reeling,
Yes,
what happens? The single filaments are washed, they are dried, and they are twisted to form an. You know what is an, right?
yeah, ma'am.
Yarn. No idea, I'll show. Shall I?
Yes, ma'am.
Fibers together twisted are known as yarns, ma'am.
Yeah. Like show me, let me show. I'll show in the same slide. Can you see how they are rolled into ants? Yes? This process is called as making ants. So at last, after what we are doing, students, we are doing the single filaments, they are washed. Single filaments are washed, dried, and twisted to form an. Okay, so the texture of the thread is depends on the complete twisting process. Isn't it how they are twisted? Did you understand everything about silk? How the process is going on? First, what
Yes,
we will
ma'am.
do, we will select healthy moths for breeding, and after laying eggs, that eggs they transferred into the larval stage, which feeds on the mulberry leaves for about how many weeks? 6 weeks. So later, what silkworm does, it forms cocoon on the body. Okay, so this cocoon silkworm, it enters into pupa stage, where in the if they know that the people who rear, they know whether it is in pupa stage. So in pupa stage, what they will do, they kill it with by placing in hot water, and then that from that cocoon silk is separated. How it is separated? It is passed, one end is passed through the eyelet, which is further rolled on the wool. Okay, so the single filaments are washed, dried, and twisted to form an. Clear? Everybody clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, silk is considered as queen of fibers. It is considered as queen of fibers. Which one? Silk. Silk
Yeah, ma'am.
is considered as queen of fibers. So where we will use silk, students? Tell me, where can you find silk?
Ma'am, in clothes, ma'am. Like in fabrics.
Fabrics, carpets, gloves, jackets,
Yeah, ma'am.
dress materials, everything.
Ma'am, in ma'am, they use burrs, ma'am, like some thick, soft silk, ma'am. Sorry, wool. Sorry, ma'am. Not silk.
It is
The
wool,
burst
right?
comes
Okay.
under wool.
Okay.
Burst.
So the silk fiber, which is formed on the body of the silk moth, which is the silk fiber, the cocoon which you are removing. The silk fiber is made up of what? Protein.
protein called the
So
fibrin
two
and
proteins
serine.
Fibrin
are
and
there.
serine.
One
Fibrin
is
and serine.
fibroin,
And there is a
second
serine,
is
ma'am.
sericin. So these are the two proteins present in the silk fiber.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, and if you see other term comes here is pheromones. Pheromones is generally a chemical which is secreted by an insect. Okay, to attract attention of other members of the species. So these are,
I'm like, how, ma'am?
suppose you are there, if you want to gain attention of the some other people, what you will do? You'll make certain, like you will sing, you will dance, so that everybody focus on you. Same thing the insect does. Okay, for them there is a chemical secreted which gives certain odor or certain, understood? So these are chemical.
Ma'am, sometimes do they give some sounds also, ma'am? Some sound.
I don't have idea of sound of insect actually. To attract, suppose peacock is there.
Yeah, ma'am.
Peacock, how it will attract? It will attract by opening its wings, right?
Feathers, ma'am.
Yeah, it is feathers, correct. Okay, so which peacock it is, students? Is it male or female?
Male, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So male peacock will have feathers. So how it will attract? In the same way it is having feathers. So these insects will have the chemical which is secreted to attract the attention.
Ma'am, but they don't secrete any chemicals, I think, ma'am, because they, ma'am, they have some, ma'am,
Actually, the
the
body.
feathers are beautiful, ma'am. That's why they attract.
Yes, yes. Other members of it.
Ma'am, and also they do sounds, ma'am, like kind of.
Which peacock?
Yes, ma'am, they do sounds, right, ma'am?
Yes, yes, they will do. So during rainfall, they used to dance. They'll make sounds, they will dance.
Ma'am, why do you like the rainfall, ma'am?
No idea.
Ma'am, you also don't know.
How can I know? I'm not a peacock.
Yeah, ma'am.
And we don't have a chance to ask peacock also, right? It can't speak. So we can't take interview of peacock as well.
Ma'am, in the rain, they open their feathers.
Yes, yes. Like I think they love the rainfall, so they will dance with happiness, it seems. I don't have an idea.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So next we will see varieties of silks. Already we saw 3 grades of varieties. Like one is reeling silk, other is spun silk, and next one is
Eri silk, ma'am.
nail silk. Then we will see other varieties. So those are the grades. We will see varieties of silk. So we already discussed about spun.
Ma'am, you forget to tell about the types of silk, ma'am.
Crepe. Yeah, that's what it is. Varieties: crepe, tram,
Ma'am?
tram. So these are all.
What is tram, ma'am?
Yeah, I'll discuss. Don't worry.
No, ma'am, ma'am, I'm telling that you forget to discuss the types of silk, ma'am.
So what
Like
are those?
mulberry silk. Ma'am, mulberry silk.
I'll tell. Thrown singles,
Spun silk,
organizing,
tram, thrown singles, organized.
mulberry silk. So all these are varieties of silk. Eri silk, Eri silk,
Eri silk, Muga silk,
next
Tassar silk.
Yes. So these are different silks we will learn.
But the mulberry silk is the costliest of
Yes,
everything.
mulberry silk is generally produced from, it depends on the species which is giving. It is produced from Bombyx mori.
Bombyx mori, ma'am. Bombyx mori.
Okay.
Ma'am, is
And
Bombix
these, why it is called mulberry silk means these particular species Bombix mori, they feed on mulberry leaves.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Then coming to the spin silk we already discussed, which is the waste cocoon from which the silk is produced. Okay, which is of inferior quality, right? We already discussed this. Then what is crepe? Crepe is also one of the kind of silk. We will make this by twisting the individual threads of raw silk, then doubling two or more of this together and twisting them. So what we will do means we will take individual, we will mix, like we will twist the individual threads by doubling it or tripling it. Understood? So twisting again and again. So that gives you crepe. So twisting of individual threads of raw silk. Clear? Then coming to the tram, it is also a type of silk which is made by twisting two or more different silk threads. Here we are taking individual thread, here twisting of two or more silk threads in one direction. Okay, then thrown singles, it is also a type of silk in which individual threads are twisted only in one direction. So can you see the difference between thrown singles and crepe? Here in crepe we are doubling, we are making double or more times. Here twisting of individual thread in one direction. Twisting of individual thread in one direction. Okay, now organizing. See, organizing, what we will do, we will take individual threads. Okay, we will twist first in one direction. So suppose I am twisting in this direction. Okay, then what we will do, we will bring all together and we will twist in opposite direction. It will go in this manner. Understood? It is called organizing. Able to understand, students?
Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, what about airy silk? Ma'am, is airy silk the one where a cocoon, like normally a moth?
Actually, the silkworms which feeds on oyster trees, that silk is called as airy silk.
Ma'am, the moth after the cocoon, ma'am, before the cocoon is made, it leaves some gap to again go fly out of it, right, ma'am?
What?
Ma'am, in the pupa stage, after when what do you call it, the worm, ma'am, the whatever airy silk comes from, that worm, it leaves space for it to go out when it's already done, like the pupa stage, right, ma'am?
So in pupa stage, this worm will die.
No, ma'am. In airy silk, it won't die, right, ma'am? In mulberry silk, it dies, but in airy silk, it previously, when it's making the cocoon only, it will leave some gap so that after it's done with the pupa stage, it comes out, and then they take it after the.
Actually, I have to look over this concept about airy silk. Okay. Next, organizing. In organizing, what we will do means we will twist thread in one direction, then by bringing two or three threads together and we will twist in opposite direction. Twisting thread in one direction, bringing two or more such threads together and twisting in opposite direction. Understood? So airy silk is produced from the species called Philosomia ricin. From this, airy silk is produced and it feeds on oyster leaves. Whereas Tussar silk and Muga silk, it is produced by Mylita worms.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, if we keep mulberry leaves to Philisomia, ma'am, and we keep the oyster leaves to Bombay Smoothie,
It
what will
won't
happen?
eat, I think. I don't know. I don't have idea of this. So actually it feeds
Ma'am,
on,
but
it grows.
ma'am, before siliculture actually existed, that moth mulberry silk, ma'am, that mulberry, that species of
Silk moth.
moth, ma'am, how did it find mulberry silk, ma'am? Like, how does it sense that mulberry is around so it can lay the eggs and all the process would happen, ma'am?
Yeah, actually these worms will grow in mulberry trees, like on mulberry leaves only. If you find a moth in mulberry leaves, it means it is a Bombyx mori. And you can find, like, in between the moths, there is certain variation. See, the one who rears, they know easily which kind it is. So among the dogs, we know that how many breeds are there, like lab breeder. All are dogs only, but lab breeder will be there. Then what else? Golden retriever, isn't it? Can we make the difference? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
We
Ma'am,
can
but
make the difference,
I
right?
did not understand. After in that cocoon, in the pupa process, when the silk moth, after molting 5 times, it wraps itself in a cocoon, right, ma'am? Ma'am, so but how does it become a moth? Sorry, how does it become a moth from the warm stage, ma'am? Like, how does it turn into a moth?
Which one?
Normally, the larva, ma'am, the silkworm, it will cover
Larva
itself.
inside. See the larva. In that also there is insect. So that insect will develop. There is insect here, larva. From the egg directly insect, that is the larval stage, which. So it
Oh, ma'am, but
starts
how
feeding.
inside the pupa, the caterpillar changes into a pupa, right, ma'am? Like, ma'am, how does it change into that thing, ma'am, that moth?
So actually, it secretes some secretion. We discussed, right, in the beginning, it secretes some secretion, which is protein that on exposure to air, it hardens, which is called
Yes,
cocoon.
ma'am. But inside the cocoon, what happens, ma'am?
Inside, like, it will be a layer, like it will be like a shield on, you know how the shield, like
on turtles.
yeah, like in the, like the kings in the movies, they'll show shield. Okay, so it forms a total covering on the body.
Okay, ma'am.
So inside there will be moth, and you can see here the swinging head.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which secretes a wetty substance. So this head only secretes the wetty substance, which further dries to become a cocoon. Clear? So these are the different
Can you
varieties.
show that Tussar silk one, ma'am? Okay. Produced by.
See, I can find, like I find the thing clothes actually. I tried to show you, but I didn't find any such. Like I can see direct saris and the dress materials which are made up of tassels.
Yoga silk is like golden and yellow color kind of thing, right, ma'am?
No, like there is no particular. Nowadays, for everything, dyes are used, right? So dyes are used and color of the silk is changed, so you can't tell what is the color exactly.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
can you give us a quiz, ma'am? I'm sure you'll give it.
But
What
ma'am
was the
still did not
time?
discuss wool.
What was the
Who
time?
completed already?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, we completed.
Ma'am, it's 5:53, ma'am.
Yes, it's about 5 to 6 minutes time, so we can't do a quiz. So tomorrow in the beginning we will do a quiz and then we'll start the next chapter. Okay,
ma'am.
heat.
Ma'am, the next chapter is heat.
Which is heat. So let me discuss once again. Let me give you a quick recap. So what happens here? The silk moth, which is called Bombyx mori, which feeds on the mulberry leaves. It is used for sericulture process in production of silk fibers. So the female moths lays eggs on the leaves, which are very tiny and many legs it lays at a time. So these eggs hatch into larvae.
So, ma'am came.
It was a network issue and I was lost. Okay, so the female moth lays eggs and the eggs hatch into the larva. The larva feeds on the mulberry leaves and it forms a cocoon around itself. Then it enters into pupa stage. So the cocoon will be removed in the pupa stage and the insect is killed. Okay, so
Ma'am, if they eat mulberry leaves, some kind of protein that organ will develop in the
yeah, the protein which is made up of fibroin and sericin.
Ma'am, if it is like that only, why can't they rear butterflies like that, ma'am?
Butterflies?
butterflies are different.
What's the
What are
use
the
of
worms?
butterfly?
Ma'am, now only Ashwath told that if they eat mulberry leaves, they can also get fibroin and
But we
sericin
can't
glands.
tell
The
butterfly to
protein
eat
organ
mulberry
in
leaf, right?
Ma'am?